artisans descending into oblivion post GST. The Indian artisans who once led the movement against the British in Swadeshi movement are now facing the threat of becoming obsolete with the introduction of GST. Tax rates and high compliance burden that comes with GST are forcing artisans out of their traditional businesses. The biggest drawback under GST is that it does not differentiate between handmade and machine-made products. Handmade products incur high cost while making as compared to products that are mechanically produced. By levying the same tax slabs on both categories, the government is making the handmade sector already struggling further commercially unviable. People involved in traditional businesses like weaving and allied services are already scaling down by each passing year, as proven by handloom census. From 6.55 million in the previous census in 1995-96, the numbers have fallen down to 4.3 million in 2009-10 census. Add to this the misery caused by tax rates under GST, more and more craftspeople will quit their traditional crafts and move to other occupations. People who earn their livelihoods through these activities mostly live in villages. Many belong to scheduled castes and tribes and minority groups who are mostly illiterate with underdeveloped marketing skills and low standards of living. And our government expects these people to file their GST returns 3 times a month. That is blasphemy. How can someone who many a times can't even afford 2 square meals a day be expected to use computers and internet and file returns, which is perplexing even the CAs, the most professionally competent in country? That is as absurd as it sounds. Even in government-aided cluster centers, there is poor internet connectivity and irregular power supply. How does the government expect compliances in the face of such poor infrastructure is beyond my thinking capacity. The government has failed in recognizing difference between small producers selling their own products, very often illiterate or neo-literate, and the big chains who produce in bulk and have big margins that can buffer increases in prices. Owing to all the injustice being meted out, several organizations that work with artisans have come forward to lend their voice to the helpless. These masihas, especially critical of the minutiae that the GST has delved into and have caused great confusion among artisans. They have suggested an all-India registration drive of artisan producers and reviving the artisan card scheme. This, they believe, will differentiate between the small artisan producer selling his own products and the retailer selling craft items in a 5-star hotel boutique, because currently both are taxed similarly. The tax rate, along with paperwork, have appalled the many people working in this industry. Ideally, the government should not levy any tax on craft. If it does, then the process of filing should be simplified. But in my opinion, instead of levying taxes on the craft sector, the government needs to make it competitive and ensure its future. The country's rich and diverse tradition of craft should be acknowledged as an integral part of the government much wanted Make in India campaign. Indian handloom and handicraft are much more than simply the livelihoods of those who practice them. They represent India's unique aesthetic and wonderful culture, and this makes them essential to our cultural survival.